Hey, GutFoxx here. It's Sunday and you know what that means. Mailbag day. The sponsor day is Infinity. Oh wait, this joke doesn't end so I won't get started. Alright, first question from Chris Rico. Do you think price fixers have a hand in making the 72 to 74 overall players expensive? This is kind of Market Monday type stuff, but we'll get into it today. Chris and I were in a discussion about how the market and EA basically dictated to us which players would be rare and not letting the players in the market decide for ourselves what would be expensive and what wouldn't be. But to answer the question, it depends on what you consider price fixers. If you consider anybody who buys a card to flip it for profit price fixer, then yes, they are partially to blame. If no one bought cards that they weren't going to use or put into sets, prices across the board would be much lower. But economic activity in the auction house would be dead. Just like the free market of capitalism, most of the exchange of goods happens between businesses before it gets to the consumer. We are a nation of middlemen. We need them for our game to make buying and selling go quickly for that auction house. But if you consider who I consider price fixers, the ones who buy every card and list them for a higher price, I don't think any one player or players can contribute to the rise in prices we've seen from 72 to 74s and fullbacks. Supply and demand for those cards drives the prices much more than any one fixer can accomplish. There are too many players pulling too many packs for one person or group of players to, for example, fix the price of a 75 overall common card. EA sets it so the supply on those low cards and fullbacks are low, thereby driving the price up for the sets. So the high prices are the fault of the company, not any price fixer. Alright, next question. What movies had the best premise but the worst execution? Jurassic Park. Not even one of the kids got killed. I would have executed them before the accountant. What are rookie mistakes a lot of people make in relationships? Ask the next question. Calling your girl your ex's name. Introducing your mother as your landlord. But one tip I want to give you in relationships, make sure to have a Rolodex of excuses prepared to avoid meeting her parents. Example, the cat died. I'm lactating. I got called out for deployment. Don't say it's for a server. They won't ask to see you again if they think you are overseas in Afghanistan. But thanks, Royven. I got called out on the street to engage in a dance competition this weekend is another good excuse. I'm on my period. I'm allergic to your mom's scent. When your girlfriend asks how you know the scent when you haven't met the parents, you just tell her it's because you were doing her last night. Next one, I lost my dog to an 8-year-old playing poker and have to win him back tonight. Sorry, babe. Lastly, just something simple, my ball thing to break from your busting. Also, a rookie mistake would be caring too much, caring too little, or caring the right amount. Just know right now, your relationship will fail like the Challenger. Alright, next question. If everyone who died reanimated as a zombie like in The Walking Dead, what would the world really be like? Pretty much the same. But I'd be standing over a couple thousand spent casings and your grandma Gertrude. If you could choose one animal to be your mount for the rest of your life, what would it be? Goat. Those New Zealanders know the pleasure of a goat, and I am not one to argue with goat fuckers. What's a work of fiction if you didn't know any better would say it's based on your life? Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. What is the scariest thing that has ever happened to you? I caught my reflection off a puddle once, nearly drowned staring at it. When the Romans warn you with tales, be wary, don't end up like Narcissus. Any tips on buying a leather jacket? Don't buy it from police auction. It'll have a few holes in the back. If you had to make the newspapers by tomorrow, what would you do? At first I thought it said, what headlines would I make if I was the editor of all newspapers or something along those lines? But the question is wondering what I could do to get into the news. It really depends on how many newspapers I want to get into. If it's the local news, I probably just have to call up with a good old human interest story. But if I want to make national news, Killing Spree would obviously be the easiest. Yeah, alright. Well, that is it for today. Thanks for watching. Please send me your questions here on YouTube in the comments, on Twitter, on the subreddit MUT, or Reddit at all. But other than that, here we'll end with the user pick as he quits right here. And thanks for watching. Call to action. I will see you tomorrow.